Hi friends, my name is Flo and this is the Grape Jelly Library where we love to talk about books. Today we are going to talk about one of my all-time favorite books, being Henry the Fonz and Beyond. Have you read this book? Oh my goodness, have you read this book? Do you plan on reading it? Comment below. Do you even know who this lovely, lovely human being is? Be still, my foolish heart. I just love him so much. Alan over at Big Hard Books and Classics perked my spirits up that day. I was a little bit in a ditch, not much, a little bit in a ditch with my vibes and my, had enough. Never a woe is me. I'm not a woe is me kind of gal, but I was like discombobulated and the wheels were turning and I knew something had to be done. And he told me, he asked me, do you want to do a buddy read? And he threw this one at me and hello, like a firecracker. Hello, I do. Quick looked it up and discovered it wasn't even going to be out until the very next day. Ran and got it, cleared the schedule, and did the thing. He makes me smile. Let me show you what I was doing. I was doing this. I was doing that. I don't write in my books. I don't like to annotate. That's just me. It's not to say I won't. I will from time to time, but in general, I won't. I like to keep my books pristine other than putting my name in it. And when I've started to read it and when I finish reading it. And the date I purchased it. But in general, that's about all you're going to get out of me. We have some casualties now and then, and that's okay. You know what? I didn't care. I was like, this man is speaking profound language, and I need to do a thing. And I underlined, and then I got so far into this book, and I said, you know what? Let me just see if he narrates the audible version. And he did. And how could you not want him to tell you the story of his life? Never mind it being any story, the story of his own life. I'm that gal that I want to sit on a park bench with my winter scarf around my neck and my snow hat and bundle up in my coat as the leaves are falling or the snow is falling, and coffee in hand, and just sit there and listen to the story of your life. Your life. What is your life? Your life matters to me. Your life has meaning to me, and I want to know. So, Henry's talking. He has center stage. Floss is listening. The Floss is listening to the Fonz because she wants to know. What a story. What a story. This story is written forever in my heart. And whenever I have a struggle or things aren't going my way, or I'm feeling like the underdog, or I feel I'm having bad day after bad day and my troubles are surmounting, I am channeling Henry Winkler. And combined, Henry's story combined with my own inner strength, combined with I'm a believer. So combined with the help of the Almighty, I feel like there is nothing I cannot do or cannot get through. Comment below, seriously, if you plan on reading this book. I have always felt deep down inside the amusement of Happy Days and the love that was on that set and the family that they became and the happiness and the joy that they exuberated and put forth and just expelled onto their studio audience, their at-home audience. And I'm not kidding you. If they said to me, Floss, pick a song that whenever you entered a room, that is the theme song of your life. That is the song that would go off time and time again. You know, I am always going to channel Happy Days. I loved when they opened Happy Days and a Fats Domino song was on. I'm Walking. Another good one is Wake Up Little Susie by the Everly Brothers. I don't know, but it's definitely going to be a 50s song, and it's probably going to be a Fats Domino song. And that's what you can play when I enter a room. You know, they said Mariah Carey. No shade either, because I like Mariah Carey. When she enters a room, you have to have a certain fragrance sprayed in the air. I don't need that, but I wouldn't mind a Fats Domino song going off every time I walked into a room. You know, who else is cool enough to hit that jukebox and turn it on? Or snap his fingers and make all of the wildlife hush up at the same time? Nobody but the Fonz. Such a heartfelt story. Did not know half of the stuff that I found out. Did not know half of it. I have some questions. I definitely have some questions. Nothing out of the ordinary. Look at us. Aren't we just adorable? Now let me get a little serious. How about that? But anyways, I want to know, at the times when he was being bullied, pushed around, felt less than, which happened quite often, why did he not channel the Fonz? Why did he not bring some of Fonzie out? I understand, because that's not who he was. But guess what? When I read a book, it's not who I am, but I always take a little piece of that book away with me. And you cannot play a character for so long and not have that character become a part of you. Do you know what they say? Birds of a feather flock together. When you do something for so long, it naturally becomes a part of you. So when he's getting bullied by Mr., I'm going to say names, Mr. Burt Reynolds, not nice, why did he take it? That's my question. Why? Okay, so I understand you don't want to be confrontational or anything like that, but my goodness, you did not deserve that. And in my eyes, I don't like to call people out, but and I definitely don't like to speak ill of the deceased. But Mr. Burt Reynolds, you did not have your act together, and don't you never talk to Fonzie like that. If Henry wasn't going to stand up for himself, I certainly would. My goodness, Henry, you are a charm. You are a gem of a person. And you just keep shining brightly. And you just keep being your best self. And spend all your days fishing and being happy. And don't let them negative people touch you. And don't let anybody say anything bad about you, because it's not true. It's just not true. You need to read this book to know what I'm talking about. I'm going to keep doing this on Revolve because he's just fabulous. Seriously, you need to read this book. I don't want to go into details because I don't want to ruin anything for anybody. I like for somebody to go into a story and experience it for themselves. I do not want to read a book and then give you a book report. I don't want to do that. I want to sway your vote. I never really want to sway your vote into not reading a book because I understand people have different points of view and different tastes. But I do like you to challenge yourself as a reader, and I do like you to be a varied reader, and I do like you to be open-minded and well-read, and that's my only goal here, is to encourage you to step outside of your box, read things you normally wouldn't read, get your take on what you thought of it, maybe persuade you to read this when you typically wouldn't. But I am telling you, if you don't want to read this, you don't want to read this. But I am telling you, if you are a fan of the 50s, or a fan of Happy Days, or a fan of Henry Winkler, or a fan of justice, a fan of wanting the underdog to succeed, a fan of a good-hearted human being, I want you to read this book. And then I want you to come and tell me that I'm wrong. I'm going to set my booth up with my sign, and I'm going to say, with this book in hand or on a little stand, this is one of the best books you're ever going to read. Prove me wrong. And I seriously doubt you're going to be able to. And that is all I am going to say about this book. I could go on and on and on, but I'm not going to take up too much of your time. And I'm not going to, bully you into reading this. Do I want you to read this? Absolutely. Do I think it's worth the read? 1000% yes. I hope you do read it, and I hope you have such a fabulous time. I came right out of my little funk with this book, and I was in my glory, being a shut-in, sitting on my couch, coffee, cocoa, tea, whatever it is, fire, blanket, comfy pillows, my dog Teddy, that's my baby dog, and just reading this wonderful book and listening to him also read me as I followed along. That was one of my finer moments in life. Go make yourself happy. Pick this book up and read it for yourself. Happiness is an inside job. Until my next video, know that I love you. Be well, be good, be reading, and may all your dreams come true.